Greetings, Padawan. It's BRG coming at you. We're going to talk about social engineering in this module's Hacker Studio. So, as you know from my bio, this is the part that I specialize in. So it is the part that I love the most. I'm trying not to go too crazy showing you too many things because, you know, that in itself, it's a class, right? There's programming involved. There's all kinds of things that are too advanced for this kind of course and for what you're doing and what you're learning. So I just want to cover a few things about what you need to download and what we need to talk about and do to get ready for this Hacker Studio. All right. So social engineering is recon. It's finding out about your target. So as you know, there are two different kinds of ways that people get hacked. They either get hacked in mass, give me all the credit card number so that I can, you know, get money, or we hack an individual, a company, people within that company. And the easiest thing to hack, as you know from your reading, and hopefully you've gathered, you know, just by some of the activities that we've done and the people that we've looked at, the easiest thing to hack is the human, right? So we get into computer systems because humans click on things, humans are friendly and give out too much information, and that's how we get information. So social engineering really is applied to specific people or specific companies that you want to hack. You need to get in through people, and that is the easiest way in. So that is the way we do it. So in the olden days, young Padawan, if you liked a boy, in my case, if you liked a boy, you would find out where he lived, and then you would drive by his house, right? It wasn't stalking because you weren't stalking him. You weren't doing anything illegal. You were just being a teenager. So cyber stalking, or, you know, following a person online, is illegal because it's stalking, and stalking is illegal. It's not innocent. You're doing it with a purpose in mind, whatever that purpose is. You know, stalking is stalking, whether it's online or not. So a lot of information about people is publicly available. Facebook, Instagram, any account you've ever had in your life, if it's on social media and it's, you know, shared with the public, it's out there and it's free for discovery and it's not illegal to look, right? In this Hacker Studio, just like the last one, you'll be hacking yourself to see what you actually have out there. What is out there and available for people to see and use, right? So there are some tools that we need and then some steps that we take after we have these tools, right? So you have some reading to do. We're going to talk about what social engineering is, the official definition, and then sort of the anatomy of a hack, sort of the steps that we go through in order to hack someone. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the social engineering toolkit, which you won't download because you need to understand how GitHub works, and that's a whole, you know, that's a whole thing. So, and we don't want to go in that much detail, although it's really exciting. And if this is the kind of work that's exciting for you, this kind of work is used in police work all the time. This is how we get information about people that were, you know, people of interest that we're looking at. So, but social engineering toolkit you have to download. You would upload it into the Kali Linux system, and it's a whole thing. And then there's an article about deepfakes, and that really is to just give you an idea of why it's so important that we know how people are hacked because of what people can do with the information once they get it, which is they can, you know, you can put into a video a picture of a person and make it look like they were part of that video. You can manipulate video and audio with voice clips and with video clips and with facial recognition software. You can do a lot of different things to frame someone, right? So, you know, even if you think about images just in and of themselves, right? You take a picture with your iPhone, you have a filter, right? And you can make that picture look a whole lot different than the original. Well, that goes to an extreme level when you talk about deep faking. So for this Hacker Studio, the tutorials and materials that you need, you're going to be installing a virtual box. And what that is just another computer on your computer. So I have instructions for you for Windows and Mac. If you have Linux already, you're already set. If you're using Ubuntu, you're already set. And you probably know some of this stuff already, but most of you have Windows 10 or Mac. So you're going to install a VirtualBox, and that's a computer that's going to live on your computer. And everything we do in this module is going to happen in that box. That's a safe box, right? And like we said in the first Hacker Studio, you're going to blow away the accounts as you make them, right? You're going to have your campaign, you're going to do your work, and then you're going to blow it away. So you can blow that away in VirtualBox. The other thing that it does is it protects your actual machine, right? So if you hack somebody and they hack you back, you don't want them hacking your actual computer. You want to, you want to be a little bit protected. So you're going to use a VPN and the VirtualBox to do that. We're going to be installing something called Kali Linux. There's also Tails or all kinds of different programs, and people have preferences and things like that. I learned on Kali, so I use Kali Linux. I'm comfortable with it. The tools I use are all in there. So if I were doing a professional campaign, that's what I would be using. So that's what I'm going to show you. You're not going to learn how to use all of the tools. We're going to talk about what the tools do. There's one called John the Ripper, JTR. That's a really great tool. You're going to find out what it does, but you aren't going to actually get a chance to do it because you need to know a little bit about command line programming. So for you young Padawan, back in the olden days, we had these black boxes that came up and you had to write in the code to get your computer to do what you wanted it to do. There wasn't what we call user interface, which is clicking on icons and things like that. You actually had to type into a command prompt what you wanted the computer to do. And so Kali Linux runs on that. So you're going to learn a little bit of that just so you can see how it works and how to look some things up. We're going to talk about the Tor browser. Now, the Tor browser could be loaded on your top computer, but we're going to load it in Kali Linux just to be extra safe. And that is actually how you get to the dark web. That's the Onion router, and that is how you get to the dark web. And you're gonna get to the dark web. I'm going to take you there, but I'm not going to show you things on the dark web that I don't think you want to see. That's up to you. You're adults. You can go and look around after, on your own time. But I'll show you how it was built. As you know, it was built by the Navy to share secure files. So being on the Tor browser itself is not illegal. Being on the dark web or the deep web is not illegal. It's if you do an illegal act in any space, it's illegal. So I'll show you how to get there, kind of like Virgil shows Dante, around the layers of hell in Dante's Inferno. I will take you to the gate. What you do after that is your responsibility. We're going to talk about a great program that I use all the time called Maltego. And there's how to use Maltego in VirtualBox, which is how I recommend that you use it. But you could, like Tor browser, you can use it on your regular machine. And it's just a way that we gather information about people. It helps us get connections, right? So, I post on Facebook and then you make a comment. Now we're connected. So I can look at my posts and I can look at your posts. So maybe if I can't find a lot of information about you, I can look at your friends and see what they're posting about you and get more information about you, right? We're going to talk about two services that you can use. Virustotal is what I use to check any file before I open it, and that tells me if there's a virus in it. And HTTPS Anywhere, it's a Chrome extension for your browser that makes sure that everything that you're sending out is encrypted. So we're going to talk about that. In the next section of this Hacker Studio, we're going to talk about some basic tools that you can use, like white pages and criminal registry and things like that you would have access to in a police department to see if somebody has a criminal record, known addresses, social security numbers, things like that. All that information is somewhere online. Your marriage records, Ancestry.com. There's lots. I may not be able to find out about you, but I can find out about your sister, and through finding out about your sister, I find out about you, right? So, there's lots of information to be gathered, and then what of that is useful? And then there are physical attacks, right? Going through garbage. Doesn't sound pretty, doesn't sound attractive, but you would be amazed how many people throw away things with their social security number on them, or bills, or things like that without shredding them first with personal identifiable information. Anything in a garbage can, you've put out there. If you didn't shred it, the law has come in on the side of you've put it in the garbage, it's now public domain, right? So this is an exciting Hacker Studio. it is my love and my passion. We're going to be doing a lot more, with further hacking studios, to further develop and go down the line of how a hack works. But I hope you enjoy this. As I've told you before, I will never ask you to do anything illegal, and I'm asking you not to do anything illegal in return. I'm trusting you. You are students learning how to be law enforcement or criminal justice specialists, so it's important that you know this information, and it's important that you make a decision each and every day to do the right thing. All right, so I will keep you posted on assignments as they come in. Make sure that you follow the instructions as they're laid out, because everything does go in order. And so I will see you in the next video. All right. Bye, Padawan.